Otherwise,
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I would like to call to order the Village of Roscoe Board meeting. It's Tuesday, March 6th, 2024. Shall we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
roll call, please.
Petra,
Here.
Penny, here, Fox,
Here.
Malco,
Here.
Simon,
Here.
Wright,
Here.
Gustafson.
Here. Approval of the minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of February 20th, 2024?
So moved. Second.
Any questions, comments, corrections? Hearing none. Call for the vote, please.
Wright,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Petty, yes, Malco,
Yes.
Babcock.
Yes.
Public comment. For those of you who wish to address the board, please stand and state your name so that we can record it in the minutes. Public comment. Done?
No, I'll take
Okay, thank you.
it. Nancy Houghton. What else did you need?
Oh, we have your name, Nancy.
Okay.
Your comments?
Oh, you want me to make my comments now?
Yes, please.
So I know that there's something going on about the garage sale. And I want you to know, I'm the one who started it back in 2007, 2008. And, we're having the same conversations that we did then. And it's still a big subdivision and that hasn't changed. There's a lot of people who want to get rid of stuff. And this is a way of them being able to make a little money, recycle, reuse, and move on. So I know that there's concerns about cost and police presence, but I guess my question is, why aren't we ticketing the people that are, doing violations? And I know from talking to Jamie that there were people that would stop at stop signs and then go to a garage sale with 3 cars behind them and stuff like that. It's like, why aren't we ticketing those people and generating the income through that? Instead of putting it on people who are just trying to live their lives and, get rid of stuff that they don't need anymore.
Thank you. Anyone else?
My name's Heather Lopez. I live in the subdivision 4 or 5 years now, and it's been a tradition it's longstanding tradition. Unfortunately, the public that comes in are the ones that are causing the problems. It's not us residents that are having garage sales. I do realize that we, the residents, have asked for additional police presence because of the traffic problems, which, as you all know, I believe, are very much akin to Halloween. This Halloween wasn't quite as bad because it was moved. Never in my life have I heard of having to get a permit to have a garage sale. Let alone now, I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I can kind of understand the need to help offset the cost of the officers that are hired back. My question would be, can we not have a volunteer policeman do that? It was also mentioned, I heard that the board is requiring something with insurance for this to happen. Several of us have called our insurance carriers. One has said, we can't write that kind of policy. Mine thought it was ridiculous that because we don't have HOA or anything, our homeowners insurance would cover any accidents that happen on our property. And as she said, we're just trying to have garage sales like everybody else. We get to meet neighbors when we do this. It's just a fun event for our community. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if other neighborhoods in the area are required to have a permit. I'm not even sure why this is an issue that we have to have a permit. So I think the residents would like some explanation about why a permit and what is this insurance that's being requested.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I guess I'll add on to them. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to speak in this one or the next one, but since they've already brought up the subject, I'll go ahead and.
And your name again, please?
Joseph Bieber. I've been a resident of Chicken Ridge subdivision here in Roscoe for about 15 years now. And I'm here to ask you, our elected representatives, to please not pass any new ordinance that would tax, burden, or hinder the annual Chicken Ridge yard sale event. In the time that I've lived here, I've noticed that there's really only 2 annual events that get folks out of their homes to speak with each other and interact with their neighbors. One of which is the annual yard sale, and the other of which is Halloween. Though I've lived in Chicken Ridge for over a decade, I never personally participated in the events. But I wanted to come here and support the people that do participate in those events because I appreciate my neighbors and I appreciate what they're trying to do here in the subdivision and in the community. Speaking as a resident that lives near the back of the neighborhood, I personally never had any issues getting in and out of the subdivision during the sales. And I live all the way in the back up near Bergamot and Jasmine, like way back. So I drive through the whole entire neighborhood to get home. I never felt unsafe. I never witnessed any violence or disorder. I've never seen a citizen attempt to impede the flow of traffic, and most certainly not in emergency vehicles. As a taxpayer, I find the notion that the events such as these sales would warrant a fee to compensate our police department. I think it's a little silly. I'm sure everyone in this room would agree that we pay pretty large amount of taxes. It's my belief that the majority of the community members would agree that we're not asking the police department to perform their duties in a manner that would exceed their mission statement to ensure the protection of persons and property, maintain peaceful order, and create a level of safety and service which instills pride for all whom reside within our community. Passing the proposed new ordinance would effectively end the event, and this event allows for people in need of cheap goods to purchase goods used. It draws in people from outside the community that shop at our local restaurants and businesses. And it brings our friends, our families, and our neighbors together. So thank you for your consideration. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Right, item number 2. My report. I would like to introduce to you Alan Harbutt, who is going to give us the annual report on the police pension fund. Yes, please.
Hey, my name's Alan Harbutt. I'm a trustee on the Roscoe Police Pension Fund. And we're required to annually let you know how the fund is doing and also to request monies for the next fiscal year. You should have a couple of handouts that Joe had put in your package. First one I'd like to address is a market summary from my POPID. That's where the majority of the monies from the fund is invested. And as of December 31st, 2023, the fund had $6,582,018.70. And if you look below that, performance summary for the fund for our monies in that fund is at 13.66% for the year. So the fund did pretty good because equities did very well in 2023. So the fund is pretty stable. Next handout is a summary report of the actuarial report that was done on the fund. And on that, the fund is actually at 75.2% funding ratio, which is very good because for a large number of years, it was staying at around the 55% ratio and not moving at all. And the board had made some additional fundings when they had a surplus to the fund. And it does show how much that has really helped. Next one I'd like to address is the actual letter that the pension board has submitted to the village board for funds for fiscal year 2024. And this is based upon the actuarial report that was done. Okay. The gross amount is $463,429. And the state and the actuarial did an estimate as far as member contributions and a few other impacts that could be done on the fund. And they said the minimum required after that phase-in is $404,288. And that's what we're requesting from the board. And basically, that covers everything I have as far as the status of the fund. Carol and Joe did ask me to do a brief overview of the pension board and also on the consolidation. Okay, the Roscoe Police Pension Fund was created under Article 3 of the Illinois Pension Code. This was back in the 1980s. And that required any municipality with 5,000 population or more to be put into this program. The exception was Chicago. They were a separate entity, and any municipality that had less than 5,000 could opt in if they had a referendum that was passed. Okay, the board consists of 2 elected police officers, 1 elected retired police officer, and 2 civilian trustees that are appointed by the president and the board. Everyone has a 2-year term. The civilian appointees have a staggered term. So one of us will be on an odd year every 2 years. The other one will be on an even year. Okay. The board also has a non-voting member, which is the treasurer. The meetings are held quarterly unless specifically needed and can be called by a majority vote of the pension board. And what the board does, it addresses any and all disability claims by any officer, requests for retirement, okay, general administrative issues, payment of bills, and prior to consolidation, we also did all the financial investments for the fund. Now, dealing with consolidation. It's the Illinois Police Officers Pension Investment Fund. It's called IPOPIT. Okay. It was created by the Illinois legislature and signed into law on December 18th, 2019. The Public Act 101-0610 provided for the mandatory consolidation of all investment assets of the state safety funds into 2 investment funds. One for the police, which was Article 3, and one for fire, which was Article 4. The law provides that the assets and liabilities of local pension funds will remain under the ownership of each local participating pension board, and that the pension fund assets are combined for investment purposes only. And basically, that's consolidation. They do total 100% of the investments. We have no longer have any control over the financial. Any questions?
Just to comment, the level of funding at 75% is admirable. The state keeps considering full funding, 2040 to be 90%, and now may move to 100%. So as long as the investment world remains healthy.
Yeah, they're thinking of making a minor change to that. It's just talk right now that's going on down in Springfield. But I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up extending that a little bit. Because there's still are a lot of pension plans under the state control that are not quite meeting the goals that the state thought they would.
And the pension, overall pension burden is a factor of not just the number of employees, but their salaries and those that are in tier 1 and those that are in tier 2.
Yeah, there's right now, there's 2 different tiers. Again, there's talk in Springfield of going back to the old way and making it 1 tier again. But we don't know for sure if that's going to happen or not. Then that's going to change a lot of calculations again.
And I kind of refer to it as a 3-legged stool. The contributions are officer contributions.
The officers make a contribution every paycheck. The village makes a contribution. And then the pension fund has its growth from investments.
And you indicated that the 404,000 is what you're asking for. We had appropriated and approved 463, the first amount.
The gross amount.
The gross amount, yes.
Yeah, the 404 isn't locked in stone because you're not 100% positive of what the membership contribution is going to be. And also some of the little minor adjustments that are done by the state.
And is it not true that we all recognize our fiduciary responsibility to do this, but if a municipality did not, there is some leverage that the pension fund has, correct?
Now there's with the new article passed with the consolidation, there is legal remedy to the pension fund to actually sue the municipality. And one aspect of that is the state can get involved and mandatorily withhold some funds when it gets into that situation.
And the last thing, you might share with everyone the type of training that people have to go through to be able to participate
Okay.
on the.
Every trustee, when they first join the pension board, okay, they have a required 32-hour training course they have to take. They have to take an ethics course. They have to take a class on the Open Meetings Act. Okay, then the Illinois state insurance oversees the pension funds, and they require a minimum of 8 hours of training yearly for all the trustees. And it has to be documented, kept in the file, and every so often they do audit us.
I thank you for your service on the
What?
board.
I thank you. It's been a pleasure to work with a lot of the boards.
Anyone have any questions? Thank you.
Very helpful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
To go along with that, item number 3, as Mr. Harbut said, appointments are for 2-year terms. They're staggered. So coming before you is the appointment and confirmation of Roger Needham to the Police Pension Board for a full 2-year term. And you see the dates there, May 2024 through May 2026. May I have a motion to appoint Mr. Needham to this board?
So moved. Second.
Babcock,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Teddy,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Okay. Item number 4, cash report and bills.
Is someone going to read?
Yes, I'm trying to find it. Right, in your documents, under the cash report, you'll see that the expenditures for this period amount to $291,950.68. After those expenditures, the checking account balance is $7,780,118.25. The motor fuel fund has down, you'll see down at the bottom, $1,459,957.08. So tonight, you're going to be asked to approve expenditures of $291,950.68. If you look at bills, is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Questions regarding bills? Hearing none, we have a motion.
Malcolm,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Yes.
Betty,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Simon.
Yes.
We have no year-to-date revenue and expenditure report this time, but wait for the next period of reporting. Item 7. Do you have a motion to approve ordinance 2024-04, making appropriations for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2020, and ending December 31st, 2024?
So moved. Second.
Any questions? Comments?
I talked to Joe today. Quickly. We've budgeted about 3 million over what we expect to get in revenues. Am I correct?
That was the gap.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And with the 3 months operating monies, that comes to $2,365,000.
That is our
Reserve?
reserve amount,
Yes,
required reserve amount. Yep.
okay,
Our operating number is roughly $7 million in operating expenses.
so if we were to spend the 3 additional million in this budget that we're going to approve, we would take it out of the, more or less, the total pool cash and equivalents.
The surplus or the savings.
Yes.
But you still have 3 months to cover
Correct.
operating expenses.
Which is that
That's slightly more.
2.365. So at the end of the year, we'd have about $4 million left in reserves.
Roughly, if we were going to spend, we spent every single dollar that was appropriated.
Yeah, okay.
To make you feel better, the state of Illinois only has about 15 days of reserves.
I don't feel bad.
Yes, we have considerably more, considerably more. Any other questions regarding the appropriation ordinance? I'd calling for the vote, please.
Simon,
Yes.
Block,
No.
Betty,
Yes,
Babcock,
Yes.
Malcolm,
No.
Wright,
Yes.
Item number 8. We have a motion to approve resolution 2024-R09, authorizing entering into a professional services agreement with Vanderwall and Associates to provide municipal planning and zoning administration services for the village of Roscoe.
So moved.
I second it.
Questions? Comments? As a reminder, it is on a monthly retainer basis, and they will tour the village. They will meet with staff. They will analyze what we have in place and make recommendations. And large-scale projects that cannot be handled in-house here go to them, and extra special ones such as flats. For example, Willowbrook, I-90, those large-scale projects, still going for engineering review. So it's a combination of all. Calling for the vote.
Hetty,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Sima,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Block.
Yes.
New business? Anything that any of you would like explored? As you noted in the report that our administrator, sorry to call him attorney, attorney/administrator sent out. The question to report section is intended as the opportunity if you have follow-up questions on things pending, or you wish to have more in-depth reports from members of staff. This is the place where we will do them. We just ask that if it is something that you think requires a lot of data, or you want something in depth, just let us know a couple of days in advance so that staff can come prepared to answer the questions that you may have.
Appreciate it, Joe.
I'm just replacing our business with this type of, what we've used it for anyway.
All right, next item, we have another opportunity for public comment. Hearing none, going on, no need for executive session. Last, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned, 6:57. Great. All right.
Fine.
Okay.
Oh,
You need a minute.
one more, yeah.
Office.
It's a new system.